Hi everyone, it's Amber number 2. Psalm 40:1 says, I waited patiently for the Lord, and he inclined unto me and heard my cry. And I just want to focus in on the word inclined, meaning he leaned in and heard my cry. A pastor I know one day shared a post that just gave me one of those wow moments. It was something I never really thought about before. The lady that wrote this gave a really interesting thought, and I just want to share it with you today. She said, have you ever noticed how in the scriptures men are always going up into the mountains to commune with the Lord? Yet in the scriptures we hardly ever hear of women going to the mountains. And we know why, right? Because the women were too busy keeping life going. They couldn't abandon babies, meals, homes, fires, gardens, and 1,000 responsibilities to make the climb into the mountains. And she goes on to say she was talking with a friend, telling this friend she felt like she was just too busy with all of her responsibilities, couldn't find the time or the quiet place to really commune with God the way she wanted to. And this friend gave her this mind-blowing response. This friend said, that is why God comes to women. Men have to climb the mountain to meet God, but God comes to women wherever they are. And looking through the Bible, we find this is so true. We find in the Old Testament Moses making that climb up Mount Sinai to talk with God. Or in the New Testament, even Jesus himself climbed the mountain with his disciples to pray just before his crucifixion. And then God met with women at wells, like the Samaritan woman, or in their homes, gardens, or in Judges, talking about Samson's birth. He didn't meet with Samson's father. He met with Samson's mother in the middle of a field to tell her she was going to have a son. These women in the Bible found themselves in communion with God in the middle of their everyday, ordinary tasks. And maybe with this quarantine, it has you feeling overwhelmed with so many responsibilities, or has even put more distractions in your way, where you don't feel like you have that time that you really want with God. You're too busy to make that climb to the mountain. I just want you to know today, God knows where you are. He knows your heart. He knows what responsibilities you have. And even if there are days where you're just so busy, all you can do is just say a simple prayer or praise and worship him in the middle of your everyday ordinary tasks, like cooking dinner, doing laundry, doing the dishes. Then do it. God's still listening. He's still hearing your cry, hearing your prayer. It's just like the old song, Have a Little Talk with Jesus. It says, he hears our faintest cry, and he will answer by and by. So just be encouraged today. Remember, God comes to us. He inclines, he leans in to hear our cry. And he comes to us even in the most ordinary places and situations.